guys, thanks for watching another video. The stone bowl that I found in the last video, it was engraved along the rim and it had a hole drilled in the side. Now I just found a piece of it. If you didn't see it, go back and watch the last video. It raised a lot of questions, especially that hole drilled in the side of a stone bowl. And people were speculating, you know, maybe it was to suspend it over a fire, maybe it was to carry it. Well, I kind of dove in a little bit on the research. First thing I did was reached out to some knowledgeable people when it came to math, because I'm not one of those. What I wanted to know is, based off the little shard that we had and the slight curvature, could we determine the diameter of the bowl? Turns out that you can do that with brains. And so what we found out is this bowl was about, well, I'll see if I can, it would probably have been about that big around, about 7 to 8 inches in diameter. So not a huge bowl, but very ornate with holes drilled in it. So back to the hole, I found another reason why there might be a hole drilled in a stone bowl. Turns out you could mend broken bowls. Kind of like a doctor would stitch up a wound, holes would be drilled on either side of a break, and then sinew wrapped through those holes and secured. And it kind of held a broken piece, or like a broken edge of a bowl, in place and allowed you to continue to use it. Now, I don't know if it would have been waterproof still, but you could still use it as a bowl. Okay. This video is all about the Garden Creek style point. Now, I say that a lot and people don't really know what I'm talking about because it's a pretty obscure point. But I found the best Garden Creek style point I've ever found. And let's get on to that right now. Go out and do a little artifact hunting. At the end, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Garden Creek point and the culture that surrounded it. We've gotten so much rain lately that I've decided to come hunt this spot, and you can tell there ain't much ground here, but there are a lot of artifacts in this area. If this was ever broken up, it would produce really well. But there are bare spots, and it's good enough that when it rains, you need to come check it. In fact, I just saw something else right there. I need to look after this. But I either have a broken point or a very small. Now that is really cool. That is the smallest quartz point complete I've ever found. Look at that. Little tiny Mora Mountain point. That's really cool. Alright, let's see what else washes up. Well, I just found the piece of what would have been a really nice grindstone, and you can really tell. I'm going to zoom in for you. You can see the porousness of the stone until you get to right in here. And you can see there's even a line left. So this area in here would have been dished out and very smooth. It's a shame. Been nice to see that hole. We may have something here. Kind of looks like the base of one, don't it? Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, that's cool. That is made off of a flake. Uniface point. Well, I just found a nice little scraper out of chert. Let me zoom you in a little bit. You can see the flakes taken off around the edges here. So that would have been held probably like that right there and used to scrape the sinew or the meat or the fat from a hide, or maybe even to take hair off of a hide. Little thumb scraper. Yeah, Big old broken blade. Well, there's a pretty one. Looks like it's churred too. Huh. Yeah, it's some type of a churd or maybe chalcedony. Nice little point though. Well, planting has begun, although not in this particular spot, and we got a ton of rain. And check out that little beauty just sitting there on the surface. That's really nice. Not used to finding stuff intact. I'll take it. I can already tell from the color of that. That's a blade, a big broken blade. Oh gosh, look at that. Man, I would love to see one of those intact. Well, I've not poked this one yet. I think that's one, don't you? Maybe an intact Garden Creek. Oh my word. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Sorry guys, I'm a little shook up. That is the best Garden Creek I have ever found. And that notch is so dang deep, it almost looks like something older than that. Oh my word. God, what a beautiful point. I can't wait to get that cleaned up. I tell you what, it never ceases to amaze me. You hunt a place for so long and you get some dry spells and you begin to think, man, you got it all. Then you have a day like today where it's just popping up everywhere. There's another Garden Creek. I'm just seeing so much material. It just goes to show you can hunt these places for a long time. You're not going to recover in a few years what they lost or cast off over thousands of years. You're just not going to do it. And that's good to know. Keeps you coming back. And guys, that was a pretty fair hunt. I didn't even film some of the brokes, like that little chert piece. That'd have been a pretty blade. Kind of a crude Mora Mountain. I got another Garden Creek. All these, though they're a little different, I believe are the same point style. But man, do I love that one. And check out this piece. That is a slate. I'm gonna call that a scraper, a thumb scraper, but yeah, could have also been a little bit of just like a blade of some sort, but that's an unusual piece of material. Napped all the way around, made off of a flake. That's cool. I like that piece. The Garden Creek style point was first named as such in 1976 by Benny Carlton Keel. He was an anthropologist and archaeologist from the University of North Carolina, and he was excavating the Garden Creek site in North Carolina when he identified this as a particular point type, a little bit different than a lot of the other triangular point types. And western North Carolina, that little red area, it's called the Appalachian Summit area, and that's predominantly where they appear. Now, what's really interesting is I keep my points site specific. So this frame of points that I have is from another site, maybe 20 miles away. And of all the points that I recovered there, there's only 2 at the bottom left here on the left side that might be called Garden Creek style. But this other site, look at the top row. And guys, that's about 1/4 of the Garden Creek style points that I've recovered from this one site. It is a predominant point at this particular site. The time frame for these points is about 2,000 years ago, maybe a little bit older, 2,500 years ago. And that's right around the time that bow and arrow technology was coming around. So these may be some of the first true arrowheads in the area. And why are so many broken? I just kind of have to put that down to their shape, the thinness, the fact that I'm hunting a plowed field. That's my best guess as to why so often they're broken in that manner.